In this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything you guys need to know about NBA 2K25, from the dribble moves, the shooting, the dunking, the game feel, literally everything that you need to know. So drop a sub, drop a like, let's get to the vid. Now, first and foremost, I want to say shout out to 2K for inviting me to Community Day, and shout out to y'all for obviously helping me get there. But y'all know the first thing that I had to test out when I got the game in my hands was the game feel. And as you guys could see, I mean, look at Harden. Like, it looks very realistic, and I want you guys to disregard this shot right here because we're going to get into the shooting in a second. But the movement looks very realistic. Now, remind you guys, we were only testing the game, so there's things that could change about the game from now until September 4th. But just what I was noticing looking at the movement, it looked very realistic. Now, in terms of how the game actually felt though, the game kind of gave me a 2K21 current gen type of feel. And if you guys remember 2K21 current gen, it felt like your player was almost sliding around the court, like, and it took like time to get used to, but obviously 2K21 ended up being one of the best 2Ks of all time. So I'm excited to see what 2K is going to do as far as the movement and making any changes by the time we get the game on release date. But as far as Community Day, I was getting like a 2K21 current gen type of feel in terms of the movement. But let's get into the dribbling. Now, as far as the dribbling goes, the first thing that I wanted to test out was the best move that was in NBA 2K24, still in NBA 2K25. And as you guys know, that was the Jamal Murray behind the back. And bro, as you guys can see, the Jamal Murray behind the back is no longer in the game. And that was kind of surprising to me because of how big the move was in 2K24 and how many people use the move. Like, I was a big fan of the move. I really didn't think they was going to take the move out of the game, but as you guys can see, it's no longer in 2K25. And I'm gonna put a side-by-side comparison so you guys can see like how different the move actually is from 24 to 25. And it's a big difference, bro. You cannot create any separation with that Jamal Murray behind the back in 2K25. So y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about the Jamal Murray behind the back not being in 2K25. Me, I'm a little bit brokenhearted, but we're gonna have to find some new moves. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Now, outside of the Jamal Murray behind the back, my objective was to take a lot of the best dribblers and ball handlers in the NBA and test their dribble moves. And as you guys can see, that little Kyrie Irving crossover right there, I really like that crossover. And it's gonna be hard just based off of play now to see like what moves are gonna be meta and stuff like that. But I feel like based off the dribbling I was seeing in play now, I think sim players are gonna have a lot of fun this year. And obviously the comp pro-am players, even if there's not a crazy amount of dribble moves, the comp players are still gonna find a way no matter what to, you know, cheese the game. So I'm not really worried about the comp pro-am players and stuff like that. But as far as like the sim players go, I feel like y'all are gonna have a lot of fun this year. But yeah, obviously, like, you take a player like Kyrie or even Curry or Trae Young, whoever I show you guys in these clips, like, we're not gonna be using all of their dribble moves on our my players. So you might take, you know, one move out of their bag, but our dribble moves are going to be a lot different when we have our my players. But this is Trae Young right here. Now, I would say out of every player that I used in play now, I feel like Trae Young's dribble moves are probably most similar to what it's going to be like when we actually have our my players, as far as like, you know, small guards go and things like that. But Trae Young's escape is still really good in NBA 2K25, and that's been a dribble move that has been really good for years now in 2K. So if you're a small guard and the Trae Young escape is something that you've been using for, you know, previous 2Ks and stuff like that, don't be in any worry, bro, because the Trae Young escape is still really good. And I'm probably going to be using that to start the year, to be honest with you, unless there's, you know, something that somebody else finds out that's more meta once the game actually drops. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be using this Trae Young escape for sure. Now, another dribble move that I found that was really good was this Anthony Edwards escape. And as you guys can see, it's like a little step back move. And I don't know, it's something about it that just looks crazy. Like, y'all can't tell me that doesn't look exactly like Anthony Edwards. And I'm not trying to hype the game up too much, you know what I mean? But look, bro, that looks kind of crazy. And I feel like for players who, you know, like maybe like taller guard builds, you know, 6'5", 6'6" guard builds, that move right there could low-key be crazy, and then you just boost into something and get to the rim and bang, you know what I mean, bro? So that move right there, I'm not gonna lie, that was another dribble move that I found that was low-key kind of tough, I'm not gonna lie. Now, another thing I noticed with the dribbling was that the players with the higher ball handle and, you know, dribbling attributes and stuff like that, they were easily able to freeze defenders who don't have the best defensive attributes, which is exactly the way it should be. Now, take this with a grain of salt because I am, you know, playing against the AI at the end of the day. It was on Hall of Fame, but, you know, the higher ball handlers were able to freeze players with not the greatest defensive attributes. But whenever I put, you know, the best ball handlers against players who do have good attributes defensively, you know, like a Drew Holiday, I wasn't able to get the same freeze animation. So again, take that with a grain of salt because it is only the AI. But that was just an observation that the players with better defensive attributes weren't being froze as much. Now, does that mean that locks aren't going to be, you know, getting put in like, you know, crazy freeze animations? I'm not too sure. We got to see how badges work and everything works in terms of, you know, like legend badges, you know, Hall of Fame badges, and we'll see as time goes on. But that's exactly the way I feel like it should be. If you have the defensive attributes, you shouldn't really be getting put into, you know, freeze animations and stuff like that. I feel like it's pretty unfair to defenders. And you know, at the end of the day, bro, I'm tired of seeing my lock get froze on the perimeter while he's playing good defense and then the guard gets a bailout. That's just me personally. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the freezing and ankle breakers. Do y'all feel like it was a problem in the past, and what do y'all feel like it should be like in 2K25? And what do y'all think, you know, based off of what I've shown y'all how it's gonna be? Now, as far as blow bys go, I wasn't seeing a whole lot of blow bys. Obviously, you're gonna be able to blow by bad defenders and things like that, but in terms of blowing by, you know, tougher defenders, that was obviously hard. But even when I had a player like Zion, if you look at this clip right here, he was able to blow by his defender. Obviously not a great defender, but he was still able to blow by his defender. And I know Zion does not have by any means a high ball handle. So does that mean blow bys are more tied into strength, or is it about ball handle? Y'all let me know. I'm not too sure because we couldn't see the attributes for the players, but as you guys can see, Zion is blown by his defender right here. Crazy animation. Now that's all I got as far as the dribbling goes, and overall, obviously only playing, you know, play now, it's gonna be hard to tell how good the dribbling actually is gonna be, you know, when we have like our 99 overall my players. So like I said, take everything from this segment with a grain of salt, because honestly, we won't know until the game actually drops. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about, you know, everything I've showed y'all so far. But now we're gonna get into a highly anticipated thing, and that's gonna be the shooting. Buckle up because we have a lot to unpack with the shooting, and make sure you drop a sub and drop a like for this fire content I'm giving y'all right now and all this information, bruh. Now before we get too in depth with the shooting, y'all let me know what y'all think about the new shot meter. Y'all know we've had so many different shot meters throughout 2K, and this year it's obviously like that little arrow, as you guys can see. I'm not gonna lie, me personally, the shot meter doesn't really affect me because I never use the shot meter. I feel like, bro, we're what, 2K25 now, bro? If you're still using the shot meter, I don't know what you're doing. But for those of y'all who do still use the shot meter, let me know in the comment section what y'all think about it. And also, here's like some of the shooting and like the shot meter settings and stuff like that, so y'all can take a look at that. And another new feature that they have for shooting in NBA 2K25 is the shot timing profile. And basically what the shot timing profile is, it's a way that lets you determine how the user timing affects your shots in the game. So you can literally change how much your shot timing matters, which I think is absolutely fire, because if you think about it, I feel like this is going to be really good for competitive players. So like, let's say you change your shot timing profile to like high risk, high reward. Basically what that means is that if you know your jump shot really well, you're going to make majority of your shots if you're wide open, I'm pretty sure. And then obviously, you know, if you're mistiming your shots even a little bit, you're gonna miss. So I feel like for competitive players, because we know our jump shot really well, not even just competitive players, if you just know your jump shot well, you could be a rec player, whatever, I feel like this could be really good for you. You put that high risk, high reward on. If not, you can keep it on normal risk, normal reward. That's what I was shooting on throughout all of, you know, community day. And I'm gonna get into more of the shooting in a second, but I feel like that setting is absolutely fire. Now, when I first got the game in my hands, as every 2K is, I'm gonna just be completely honest with y'all, bruh. It was so hard to shoot when I first got the game in my hands. And I was talking to a few other people at community day, and a few others were saying the same exact thing. Like when you were first shooting, it was hard as hell to make a shot. Now, as time went on, obviously, you know, a couple more hours on the game, you start getting used to the shot meter. And obviously at some point, I ended up taking the shot meter off, and then you get, you know, a little bit more accustomed to the shooting and stuff like that. And obviously it's going to be harder because you're using a bunch of different players to shoot and time different jumpers and stuff like that. But yeah, when I first got the game, I'm not gonna lie, bruh, it was really hard to shoot. Now, could that be the ratings? Yes. But I'm not gonna lie, I was using Curry at first, and as you guys could see, I was missing every single shot, bro. Couldn't hit a shot, couldn't throw anything into the ocean, bro. It was bad. Bro, it had got so bad at one point, I heard a nigga yell across the room. This nigga said, damn, Bron can't hit a shot. And mind you, I was playing on Hall of Fame difficulty throughout all of Community Day. I'm not sure about everybody else, but that's what I was on. And bro, Hall of Fame literally felt like platinum. It was like, felt like a whole new difficulty, bro. It was that hard. And although I was missing a lot of shots, another thing that I did notice was that some whites were going in as well. Now, does that mean that whites are going to be able to go in when it comes to, you know, playing my career and with our my players and stuff like that? I'm not too sure, but as far as play now goes, and I'm sure my team as well, whites were going in. And as you guys know from 2K24, the game was literally green or miss. Like, you had to green all your shots. And me personally, I was a fan of that. But if whites are going to be back, you know, with our my players and stuff like that, I guess it's something we'll just have to adjust to again. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about whites being back. Me personally, I'm not a fan. Now, another thing that I noticed with the shooting was how smooth, fluid, and realistic the shooting felt. I remember times last year where you might try to go into a shot and it might delay your shot a second or two. Like, you're already holding square and it's not letting you shoot, but the shooting felt very smooth and very realistic. There was also times where if you shot the ball, like let's say it wasn't a complete standstill or, you know, spot up shot, that your player might kick his legs out on, like, it was like, I don't know, it's just kind of realistic, bro. Like, look at Curry in some of these clips. Like, you can see he's just, his leg is kicking out here and there and stuff like that. It just made it seem a lot more realistic, a lot more fluid, like within the game. Didn't seem like too forced or animation based or anything. Like, it literally felt very fluid. And also too, like, once I got the hang of shooting and I actually was able to green my shots, I noticed like the little leg kickouts and stuff like that, it actually didn't affect the shot at all. Like, I was probably making more shots while his legs was kicking out and it wasn't a complete standstill than, you know, shots that were a complete standstill. So I don't think the leg kickouts or anything like that is going to affect the shot, or that means like it's more contested or anything like that. I feel like it's just literally within the flow of the game. But honestly, it was kind of hard to get a grasp of like what it will be like when we actually have our my players in terms of the contest system, just because, you know, we're only playing against the AI. So obviously things like having your hands up for a contest, that's going to come into play when we actually have our builds. Obviously that mattered a lot last year. If you didn't have your hands up when you were, you know, contesting the shot, it's a higher chance that shot might go in, especially if the person times it or not. But obviously the AI isn't going to always have its hands up to contest your shot, so there's that. But I also did notice that taller players, like when I had a player like KD, or if I had a player like Tatum, as you guys can see in this clip right here, Tatum was easily able to shoot over Kyrie. And is it gonna be like that if you have a taller build against smaller players like how it was last year? Bro, I played Pro-Am, so being in the corner and then you're having to guard swings and locks and they're shooting over you with that T-Mac shot, it was tough to guard at times. It was definitely tough to guard. I feel like it might be pretty similar to that, just because, I mean, as you guys can see, bro, Tatum and KD, they're shooting over smaller defenders with ease. But overall, in terms of the contest system, I'm gonna just leave some clips up here, let you guys in the comment section be the judge of what y'all think it's gonna be like, how y'all think it is based off of these clips. Honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, if it's similar to how it was last year, it really won't be a problem to me. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel like the contest system was too bad last year. You were still able to hit some contested shots if your hand was down, so I don't know, kind of makes it more realistic, kind of like, you know, real life and things like that. And lastly, with the contest, the last thing I noticed was that the contest shot percentage has been removed. So you know how they would give you that number after you shoot a shot, letting you know how contested your shot was? It's not going to be like that no more. They reverted it back to how it was in 2K19. So basically the different contests that we have is wide open, open, light pressure, tight, and lastly very tight. Now me personally, I was more of a fan of the number contest system, just because you can really see, you know, how contested your shot was. If it just says, you know, lightly pressured, then it's kind of hard to really know, you get what I'm saying? Like, but if I see like 36, then you know, I'm like, all right, was that really 36, or, you know, it's 2K on some BS? But no, I was more of a fan of the number contest system. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. It's going back to how it was in 2K19. So, but another thing I noticed was that, this is just like a little small thing, bro, was that bouncing shots were going in as well. And as you guys know from previous 2Ks, bouncings never went in. So that's probably gonna take some time to get used to. You think a nigga's about to miss a shot and he make it just because it bounces in or whatever, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about it. I feel like that just makes the game a little bit more realistic, the way the ball's going into the rim. I know it's not that big of a thing, it's not that deep, but yeah, just a little thing that I noticed. That's pretty much gonna wrap up everything when it comes to shooting. I feel like I pretty much covered everything, but now we're gonna get into the finishing, you know, the dunking, everything like that. I'm excited for this part right here, so stay tuned. Now, same thing with the dribbling. What I wanted to do for finishing was take some of the better dunkers that we have in the NBA and use them in the play now, test their dunks out and everything like that. And the first thing that I really wanted to see was, could you still force dunks like how it was in 2K24, where you could literally just force yourself into a dunk animation? Obviously, you're not always going to be able to make it depending on if the defender's in front of you or in front of the basket or to the side of you and stuff like that. But I just wanted to see, could you still automatically force a dunk? And it's the exact same way it was in 2K24. I mean, literally the exact same way. Like, bro, you can still force dunks at will. Literally, you don't even have to be in the right position to even get a dunk animation. Like, bro, you can literally force yourself into the animation. I've never been a fan of that. Obviously, you got people like Joe Knows and, you know, players like that who take advantage of it. And obviously for players like him, that's going to be a really good thing. And obviously I still dunk too, so I benefit from it, like, you know, from time to time, obviously. But overall, from a full like game aspect, I've never really been a fan of that. But I don't know, bro. Like, it's just kind of crazy. Like, you can literally force yourself into dunk animations. I always felt like it was better back in, like, you know, 2K20, when it was like you really had to be in the right position in order to get a dunk. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But I felt like that was just like an eye-opening thing as soon as I got the game in my hands. Granted, Zion does have a really high dunk rating, and obviously when we have our my players, you know, we're probably not gonna have 97 plus dunk on our builds. Maybe you might, I'm not too sure. But for me, and I know majority of people, probably not gonna have 97 dunk. And also, y'all gotta take into consideration, I am playing against the AI. Yes, it's Hall of Fame, but at the end of the day, it's still the AI. But the thing is, though, even in 24, you could still force dunks. Whether you were playing against AI or whether you were playing against an actual person, you could still get the dunk off. So y'all let me know what y'all really think about this. And I had to show y'all that clip like a couple times, bro, because did y'all peep how I missed the dunk and it still went in? Now, obviously, 2K is gonna have cheese at times, of course, right? But it was just like, bro, like, it's just not a good thing to see your first day playing the game. You know what I mean, bro? You missing dunks and the dunk is going in. And some of the other dunks I was missing, it wasn't going in at all. And I slightly earlied another one and that one didn't go in. 2K, y'all absolutely got to fix that. And I don't know if y'all remember, but even in 2K24 as well, you could literally green a dunk and still miss it or still get blocked on it or something like that, which that never made sense to me either. So I'm hoping that they fix that. You should never be missing any greens and you should never be making any miss. So that, I don't know. Now, obviously, in all these clips, y'all saw I was using some of the best dunkers in the league. Ja, Anthony Edwards, you know, Zion, probably the 3 best dunkers in the league. But take a look at this clip right here. This is Bronny James catching a contact lob right here. And we know that Bronny's, what, a 68 overall in the game? So it seems like dunking might be a problem, which is just something we're going to have to monitor as the year goes on. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about in the comment section. We got Bronny James catching a lob from his pops, bro. Like, what? And I obviously know y'all came here to see hella clips. So, bro, here's another clip right here. Bronny getting up on the rim, bro. Like I said, 68 overall Bronny James, bro. So what are we going to be able to do when we have our, you know, 99 overall my players, bro? Who knows, man? Who knows? But another small detail that I noticed about the dunking was that I felt like the dunking did look a little bit more fluid than it did last year. So although, you know, we just talked about how you can force the animation, right? I feel like the animation itself looked a little bit more fluid, like it was something that could happen in real life, if you see what I'm saying. Like it didn't look as forced as it did last year. Although you can still force the animation itself, the animation looked smooth, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know. But yeah, now this part right here is where you guys really are gonna have to pay attention. Now, obviously, we just talked about the fact that, you know, I wanted to get the best dunkers and stuff like that, and I, you know, Anthony Edwards, Zion, Ja, players like that. But y'all know I had to get a player like Giannis, and Giannis is a little bit different from these players just in terms of height. He's a little bit taller than a lot of these dudes, but he still obviously has a little bit of ball handle. He's still, you know, pretty strong and stuff like that. But I need y'all to take a look at some of these clips right here that I got with Giannis. Now, I'm not sure too much of what to make of this. I want y'all to talk about it in the comment section, you know, create a little discussion. But bro, Giannis is literally pushing LeBron out of the way on a lot of these drives to the rim. And I wanted to tie this in with finishing just because, you know, driving, you know, all that stuff ties into the same thing. But bro, what do y'all think about this? Because LeBron, I know there's no way that Giannis has that much of a higher strength than LeBron. If at all, LeBron probably has a higher strength than Giannis. So how is Giannis able to push LeBron out of the way on a lot of these drives? That really didn't make any sense to me at all. I thought that was kind of crazy. That was probably the craziest thing that I noticed out of the whole entire, you know, few hours of playing at community day. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Now, another thing with the finishing that I wanted to get into was floaters. Now, as you guys know, floaters was a big thing for small guards last year, especially in Comp Pro-Am. You'd see a lot of guards have like an 85 plus driving layup, and they would get that floater off over the swings, over the centers and things like that. It was a really big deal. Now, I wanted to test out the floaters and see, you know, how it was looking this year. And as you can see with some of these clips from Kyrie, it looks like floaters might be, you know, still pretty good. Like, I'm making some, you know, lightly pressured floaters and things like that. Obviously, now I'm not playing against, you know, players with the greatest defensive attributes, obviously, but still though, floaters was looking pretty good. So I feel like floaters might still be a big thing for small guards this year. And obviously I'm not allowed to say anything about the builder. Y'all stay tuned for that. But I'm just gonna say things look good for small guards. That's all I'm gonna say. Things are looking good. Now, the last thing I want to touch on when it comes to finishing is gonna be layups. Now, obviously, I know y'all are more concerned about dunking and stuff like that, and we already touched on that. But with layups, something I just wanted to, you know, talk about just a little bit, because I did notice that the AIs were making some kind of crazy layups. Now, obviously, it's an AI, so take it with a grain of salt. It's not an actual real player, and you know, AIs obviously play different. More BS is gonna happen when you're playing against the AI. But it was just something that I noted, that the AIs were making some kind of crazy layups, and I made a few crazy layups as well. I'm not gonna lie. I know in this clip right here, you know, that's Kyrie Irving, so of course, you know, he's going against a Derek White, he's gonna be able to make crazy layups. But still though, he was able to force his way into an animation. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Me personally, I don't know, bruh. Kind of crazy. Now, one of the new moves they added in NBA 2K25 is a move called the Goto Shot. And basically what that move is, it's a move you see players do all the time. It's kind of like a signature shot almost. Now, my first time doing this move, it looked so realistic. I gotta give props to 2K, because I'm not gonna lie, I think this is gonna be dope for like simulation players. I feel like y'all sim players are gonna have a lot of fun with this Goto Shot. Now, as far as how it feels actually doing the move in real time, I didn't really feel like, I don't know, but it just felt like it was kind of slow and it took too long to like actually do the move. And I don't think you're really gonna be able to like do it against an actual human being, if that makes sense, because it just, I don't know, it's kind of predictable. And another thing I can say about the Goto Shot is that I did get ripped on it too, as you can see in this clip right here. But I also noticed that the times I was able to get the shot off, I hit a couple smothered contests. Like, I don't know if that's just because, you know, it's a Goto Shot, so it might have more of a chance to go in. I'm not too sure, but I did hit a couple shots that were like heavily contested, as y'all are seeing in these clips right here. So I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think about the Goto Shot, and y'all let me know if you feel like it's going to be effective against our actual my players. Now, my final thoughts on the Goto Shot, I would say overall, I feel like it's going to be good for simulation players. I feel like they're going to really enjoy it. You know, players that want to make, you know, IRL mixtapes and stuff like that, I feel like it's going to be dope. But as far as it goes for our my players, don't know how effective it's really going to be. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be some rewards, you know, later on in the year that unlocks, you know, Goto shots that are even crazier or even faster. We're just going to have to see. But now we're going to move on to the defensive aspect of 2K25. This for all my locks and my swings. I got y'all boys. Stay tuned. Now, when it comes to the defensive aspect of the game, the first thing that I wanted to do, obviously, again, is take some of the better defenders that we have in the NBA. And so even in a clip like this with Kawhi, the first thing that I noticed was that when I tried full court pressing, Luka was pushing Kawhi off. And now this kind of ties back into the strength and what we were talking about earlier, you know, with Giannis pushing LeBron. But I thought it was low-key kind of crazy to see Kawhi, somebody who I know has a high strength, get pushed around by Luka. And I know Luka, obviously, you know, he definitely has strength, but still though, like that much more than Kawhi, I don't know, like to be pushing him around is kind of crazy. That was just me. I also felt like the interceptions was kind of crazy too. Like there was a lot of things being intercepted. At times I would even throw bad passes just to see, you know, is the AI going to be able to get it? And I obviously know a lot of these players don't even have interceptor, you know, on their player cards, but a lot of interceptions was happening. So that kind of gave me hope in terms of, you know, like being able to, you know, steal passes in the lane when it comes to Pro-Am and stuff like that for like my swings and, you know, my locks playing up at the top of the key. If interceptor is going to be good, I know it's going to be a good year for locks and swings. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all thought about the defense in NBA 2K24. What do y'all feel like needed to improve from, you know, from last year to this year? Do y'all feel like interceptor was good last year? Honestly, I feel like I thought it was all right, bro. And I'm not going to lie, because like there will be times where my boy Sanji, my swing, you know, on my Pro-Am team, he's in the perfect position to get a steal, and he doesn't get the steal when he has, what, 95 steal, Hall of Fame interceptor. A lot of times where the ball, you know, will deflect off or just go out of bounds. You can't actually get the interceptor animation. I don't know. I just thought it was decent last year. I'm hoping it's going to be really good this year because, bro, Lord knows we need it. Now, another thing that's always a big deal in 2K is bump steals. I mean, some people feel like it's cheese. Some people feel like, you know, it's realistic and it's something that should happen. You know, if the ball handler is just dribbling on one side, he's not protecting the ball. Defenders obviously feel like they should get the bump steal. Now, I always felt like it was something realistic. I feel like it's something that should be in the game. You can't just, you know, dribblers can't have the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? You got to be able to get ripped at times if you're not protecting the ball. And I noticed a lot of bump steals going on the first day of community day. And not even just from like the better defenders either. Like literally from defenders like Bronny James, who, you know, is average at best, but he's still able to get bump steals. So I just thought it was interesting to see, you know, maybe steals are going to be a big thing this year. Maybe locks might be OP. That's something we're just going to have to look out for. Now, lastly, for defense, I want to get into interior defense. Obviously, this is another big thing for centers, you know, inside bigs and stuff like that. Y'all want to know, is paint protection going to be good? Now, obviously, as I said, I was playing on Hall of Fame throughout community day, and the AI is going to make crazy layups at times, as we talked about with the layups earlier. And so does that mean it's going to be like that with our my players? I don't think so. I feel like, bro, as y'all know, y'all played my career on Hall of Fame before. You'll see some of the craziest shots being made. I feel like it's just programmed just because it's the AI. I don't feel like it's really going to be like that when we have our my players. But who knows, man? Because we've had years like 2K21 current gen, or not current gen, next gen, where dunking and slashing and all that stuff was literally insane. But y'all can take a look at a few of these clips, you know, interior defense, and y'all make up your own opinion on it. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section. And that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for defense. I don't feel like there's really too much more to get into when it comes to that, but I do want to just touch on the stamina and stuff like that. It's really similar to how it was last year. I feel like even with the whole like adrenaline boost thing, like you still lose them as soon as you bump into a defender and stuff like that. I always liked that system. I thought, you know, we were new to it last year and a lot of people didn't like it at first, but it grew on people over time, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a fan of it. Now, one thing I heard about the stamina as far as our my players go is that there's not a stamina bar. You know, as you guys saw from when 2K went live that one day, there wasn't a stamina bar when it comes to your builds, like in making your builds and everything like that. So I'm not too sure how much stamina is gonna play, you know, a role in terms of our my players and stuff like that, but they were saying you got to go to the Gatorade facility to get your stamina up. Like, bro, we gonna really have to be in the gym, you know what I mean, getting gritty, bro. Now, my closing thoughts on the game, we obviously didn't play the final version, and 2K was stressing that to us at the event. They wanted us to even, you know, stress that to y'all, that all the content and all the stuff you're gonna see coming out today, this isn't going to be the final version. You know, it's not gonna be the same exact game that we have on release date. And then even after that, what y'all got to take into consideration is that patches are probably going to come out the first day, first week of the game and stuff like that. So y'all got to just calm down. Don't rant too much. Don't go straight to Twitter and overreact and, you know, put too much stock into what you're seeing from this video. But overall, I was just saying from, you know, from the game and, you know, everything I played at community day, I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm always gonna stay optimistic when it comes to 2K, just hoping, you know, the game can get back to the way it was, you know, 17, you know, 20, 19, you know, games like that. But even last year, I feel like the game, you know, really wasn't that bad. I know a lot of people, you know, was talking bad about the game, but I feel like that kind of just depends on what game mode you're playing. And for me, playing Pro-Am, it's easy to stay, you know, like motivated to, you know, play the game throughout the whole entire year because, you know, we're playing in these tournaments and stuff like that. So I feel like depending on the game mode that you play, that's going to determine how you feel about the game. I thought 2K24 wasn't a bad game at all, but like I said, I'm gonna stay optimistic, hoping this game is gonna be really good. Feel like, you know, discovered a lot of good things, discovered a lot of things that definitely need work. And that's why we have these next 2 weeks. They have the next 2 weeks, you know, to put in whatever they need to in the game to make sure that it's going to be just right for us once we get it on release date. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the sub button, do all that, bro, because we have fire content coming, bro. I got a lot coming for y'all, and y'all got to be ready for tomorrow because that's when we're allowed to post the builder stuff. So make sure you have your post notice turned on as well. Y'all do not want to miss that. I am going to be dropping a crazy point guard build. Can't say too much about it, bro, but like I said, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video. Peace.